Well, evening boys and girls. Well, I'm now showing you Project Prawn Pot. Obviously, the last summer was poor for me. The crab ground has all been cut away 20 foot. So that didn't fish this summer at all. That was a waste of time. Hardly any crabs there. It's all been cut away, scored 20 foot. There was loads of hefts, hardly any crab, took waste of time. And then the lobster grounds all fill up with mud. There was hardly any lobsters there at all. Total waste of time all summer really. But what there was a lot of was prawns. We get lovely big prawns around here. No one ever fished for them. Well, I think one boat did. Shrimp used to get a few of them. So this year I want to make some prawn pots. Well, on the south coast traditionally, the prawn pot is a plastic tube with one of these funnels each end. So you can imagine that one of these funnels each end with like a 3 foot tube in between it. And they work really well on the south coast. Brilliant. But they don't work here. Basically we get a hell of a lot of tide around here, and all them round pots do is just roll up. I know people have tried them, very good fishermen around here locally have tried them, and they didn't work. There's just so much tide here, they all just roll up. Bit like them plastic pots I bought. Them plastic pots, they seem to roll up like hell here as well. So I'm back to steels. So I now got to make a new design contraption pot what I can catch prawns with. And this is them. They're basically Euro container as such. If you look, I've got one here. They're 400 by 300 mil by 120 mil deep. See, look, standard Euro container, 400 by 300 mil by 120 mil deep. And the best part of these, they're vented. You see, there's a vent on the sides, and the bottom is totally vented. So these are what I'm going to make my prawn pots out of. I know a lot of people say if they've got steel in them or concrete in them, that don't mix with prawns and you don't get nothing. Well, that's what the fishermen on the south coast say, but that's totally different here. But obviously we do get a little tiny bit of mud around here, so I want a fairly good water flow through the pots, because the prawns ain't going to get out of these slots, but that'll still allow good water flow to try and stop the mud from building up. These are obviously a prototype, but if you're gonna make them, you got to make quite a few and trial them, ain't you? So yeah, I bought enough of I bought 80 of these tubs, so that's enough to make 40 pots. I'm planning on fixing them together. So if you look at these, they got slots in the edges. Another couple of slots there. They're designed for a lid to go on, and the lid clipping them slots. Well, I'm not going to put a lid on them, and just being that deep, and they ain't really deep enough for what I want. So that's why I got two together, and using trusty, the size of these tie wraps, I think they're about 12.7 mil wide. They're a hell of a beefy tie wrap. I'm going to use these as a hinge, because look at the strength of them. You'll never break one of them. So what I've done is put one on top of another one, like that. So basically you got that way of opening them. If you look and open them up, that tie wrap there, that hinge, or 2 hinges, that's not 100% perfect yet, that's only like that stuck together. But obviously when you get 2 of these together, put the tie wrap through both of them and do them up. They're bloody strong, them tie wraps, so you won't break them very easy. So at the minute, that's the plan. 2 tubs, 2 tie wraps, and that's a hinge lid. Obviously I just stuck them on there for the time being. Nothing set in stone, but that's what I'm going to do at the minute. I'm going to make a few up first, say like a 10 on a shank, and shoot them and see how they go. But with a lot of things, simplicity is usually the best. So tie wraps, bag of 100 tie wraps, what's that, like 20 quid. So they're not a lot of money. But they're going to work a treat as hinges, aren't they? Look at them, they're strong as hell. You'll probably actually break these plastic tubs before you break them tie wraps, because they are bloody strong. That's why they use them as handcuffs in America, because they're bloody strong, aren't they? So that's the simple idea of using tie wraps as a hinge. 1, they're cheap. 2, they're easy to replace. And 3, they're quick to put together. Because you don't want to spend hours putting hinges and faffing about. But I just put 2 tie wraps on it, done. If they ever get damaged, how long do it take to repair a tie wrap? Seconds, doesn't it? So that is the hinge I've got. I haven't pulled them right tight, but yeah, that's the hinge. I was going to put the bridle through here and here. The reason I was going to put the bridle through here and here and around the corners, obviously it's a strong bit. Put a bridle in here, so as the tide is flowing, that's pushing water straight through here and here. So you've got a good water flow through it to hopefully stop the build up of mud. Because alright, there's a lot of sand here, but there's some places a little bit of mud. And I don't want these filling up with mud and turning into a mud brick, do I? Well, like whelk pots around here, the last whelk pots I had, I think they were about 12 kilo, 14 kilo. But obviously they were stand-ups and these ain't going to be quite so heavy. So what I'm planning to do is pour in, say, 1 inch of concrete in here. I ain't 100% worked it out yet, but what I'll do is I'll put a plastic fish sheet in here and pour concrete in it until it come 1 inch up the side. Measure the volume of the concrete. As I pour it in, I can then weigh it, so I know exactly what volume I want for what weight. But I'm got a few kilos in these, ain't I? So obviously, 1 inch of concrete in the bottom, something around that. I'll put a little bit of chicken wire in there too, just to keep it some strength there, because if not, concrete will break, can't it? Obviously in a whelk pot, that's normally not that thick, so the thicker the better. That make it strong and stable. But if I only put 1 inch in here, that might not be. Or in other ways, I could just mould a section here and a section there. It's not set in stone yet, but I was thinking maybe put 1 inch over the bottom, and then it don't cover so much area. But I could also just do like a single brick there sort of thing, and a single brick there, or that sort of configuration. I ain't 100% worked out yet. And another thing here is we get a lot of weed, because the problem is with them round pots, you got a funnel each end, and as the tide is pushing towards it, that block these holes up, because one fisherman used them around here and all he done was kept blocking the entrances up all the time. Well, I don't want the entrance, because obviously these have got one on the front and one on the back opposing each other with a tube in between. I don't want the tide going on there, because that's just going to push weed straight in that eye, and as the tide change, push weed in the other eye. So I don't want that. I want the eyes on the side. So I've got some plastic mesh, 10mm heavy duty mesh for making prawn pots. So what I was going to do is get a hole saw, drilling a hole in the side here, and making funnel each side. I'll put one there, put 4 funnels in, or just do big one and make an entrance each side. I don't know, I ain't got that far yet. But I thought, if the entrance is on the side, and just a little round hole entrance, and the tide's running past, they ain't going to fill with much weed, are they? That's going to avoid that like the plague. Hopefully the weed will just run down and that wouldn't fill the entrances up. I just have like, coming here. Well, that's the plan anyway. Obviously I'm not that far in the build yet. The plastic containers only arrived a few days ago, and the tie wraps arrived, so that's just a general cheap plan. Well, this is just a little diagram of the entrances. I didn't know whether to have like just a couple of tubes coming up, or a wide one, what tapers go on the full length. Obviously that's what they'll be like on the ends. the tubes, and like then the side on picture, obviously that'll come right up into the top sections. Obviously Mr. Prawn will walk up here and then go plop in the bottom. That sort of thing. That's the sort of plan I was having to do, like 2 there and maybe another 1 there and there, or a nice big wide entrance, full width each side coming up. But I don't know that having a big opening in the end, that would then let all that bloody weed go in there and block up the weed. So that's a bit of a conundrum really. The only thing to do is do a trial really, make fur each and see how it go. I think that should work. I'm going to have to do some sort of bait box as well, or bait bag, because obviously when you tip these out with shrimps in it, or prawns, any bones out of the fish will get in the prawns, and you don't want bones in your prawns, and you've got to pick them all out. So I haven't decided yet whether to do a box in here, or a couple of them squares out, stitch your bait bag in it, and then just get a plastic flap, swing round. So flick it round, put the bait in, push it back, or like a conventional pot, put a bit of twine in it around it, pull through a bit of elastic with a hook on the side. I ain't decided that yet, but I think they should work alright. That'd be interesting to hear someone else's views if they tried anything, but they ain't too massive, so they shouldn't pick up that much tide. You think that's only but 240mm deep for 400. They ain't huge things. I'm not expecting to get tons and tons of them. I'll be up with a pint in each one. But I was speaking to the commercial who did try a few, and he said if they fished right with no weed in the eyes, he should get a couple 100 prawns in each pot. Well, I think they were quite a lot bigger than these, but hopefully with this design I should avoid getting weed in the eyes, and hopefully they'll fish right. Time will tell. Going back to the entrances, if you look at these, what are they? 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches, something like that. That's the professional ones, 1.25 inches entrances. But if you look on the side here, I know they're not going to be tapered, but if I have a tapered entrance as big as this, that's going to fill up the weed. So I thought about putting 4 entrances, like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's that sort of diameter, and just obviously running in high. Obviously, as I get further on in the project, I'll have a plan, see how it go. But I thought I'd just give you guys a catch up with what I'm planning at the minute, and hopefully do in the next August, September time. Give it a go. They might even be right for brown shrimp in the summer, because we've got a load of rules and regulations in now. If you want to use a shrimp trawl, you got to get it got to get someone from IFCA to come out, look at it, check it all. You know, you got to put a veil in them, load of faffing around and give it a work number. And every time you go, you got to record every tow. Say you towed for 15 minutes, and you got to write the time down. Right, a little palaver. So hopefully I'm going to rig a few of these up for the summer, just to see how they fish. I'll do like 10, and I'll do them a couple of different style entrances and see how we go. They might not get no shrimps in them, they might get some. I've got nothing to lose, really, have I? Well, thanks for watching, boys and girls. Hope you found it some interest. And when I get further developed with them, I'll let you know. Okay then, catch you later. Bye.